All right, hello everyone. Welcome to week 3. You've made it to week 3. Congratulations. Um, this week we're going to be dealing with informal and formal logical fallacies. Um, Most of the time, I think students have a pretty good they're able to get a pretty good grasp on what is needed and what is required of them for the assignments. And for this week, I'm just going to try and explain the assignments. And once again, I downloaded a program to try and get my camera so that it'll flip things the right way when you watch it. But as you can see from the board behind me, the only program I could find allows me to take pictures with my camera and then allows you to see them the right way after I take them, but it won't play back video so that you can actually read things. So far, and I guess this is just particular to Macs. I have a Mac notebook that I use. Um, I've been unable to create some examples for you live, which I thought would be helpful. But so there are examples, of course, listed on the instructor guidance, and also there are two really helpful links. I think the first link is from the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, and it talks about the theory of fallacies, and that can give you some nice background insight and analysis um, about what you're studying this week. And then the second link I think might be the most helpful for you. It has a list or an index of fallacies of many different fallacies, more fallacies that are covered than are covered in our book, and more fallacies than I've included in the instructor guidance. And you're free to use any one of them. Just make sure you clearly cite, if you do use it for one of your discussion posts, you need to cite clearly which fallacy you're referencing. So essentially what you need to do this week for the first discussion, you need to come up with 3 different arguments that utilize or commit 3 different fallacies. And so I guess I'll start a little bit just so we're clear. A fallacy is a mistake in our reasoning. All right. So you have informal fallacies, which are essentially just mistakes in making inferences about what follows from what. I think that's the most basic way to state it. And there are various types of fallacies. So as I said, I've listed 3 fallacies on the instructor guidance, and they're in that second link, the index of fallacies. All you have to do is pick one of the fallacies that you want to utilize and then construct an argument that commits that fallacy. So for example, if you had a valid deductive argument or a strong inductive argument that you wrote for week 2, you could take that and manipulate it and change the words around such that you try to make it commit one of the fallacies that you pick. So I'll just do one brief example orally so you can hear what one sounds like. And that's really one of the most popular ones, and you might have heard this said before, is the ad hominem fallacy. The ad hominem fallacy is where you attack a person instead of their position, and then use the attack on their person or their personality or who they are to discredit their position, right? So let's say I'm arguing for that ending world hunger is a good thing, right? And then someone says against me, they say, well, we shouldn't end world hunger because you like the Boston Red Sox, and the Boston Red Sox spend millions of dollars paying their baseball players' salaries. So you really aren't, so we shouldn't listen to you about your position on world hunger. Now that would be an ad hominem attack because they're attacking something about me as a person instead of attacking the validity of my statement about wanting to end world hunger. So you can see how it's like a diversionary tactic in arguing, and that's another one. There's a specific name for the diversionary tactic, which is the red herring, that's where say I have a position on providing free meals for children at school, and then someone might say, oh, but the pizza that they serve, isn't as good as if they could go to Pizza Hut. Well, that's kind of a red herring, because really we don't have the funds to put a Pizza Hut in every school. We might only be able to provide them with a, the school lunch pizza that they buy from certain distributors. So that really it's not a fair argument to make against that, and also it can be a mischaracterization of someone's position. So all of a sudden I find myself having a hard time to explain this to you orally, but my best suggestion for you for this week's first discussion is you're going to just pick 3 arguments, and then within those 3 arguments pick three fallacies, and make sure you label which fallacy you think your argument's committing, and then write those 3 out. And then of course I'll be able to respond to at least 40 students this week. I won't respond to everyone. So if I don't respond to your post and you see that I've responded to other people's posts, please go and look at the posts that I have responded to and see if my feedback on that post is helpful for you. And if it's not, and you think you're struggling, or if another classmate comments on your post and they think that you have gotten it wrong, send me an email, and then I'll specifically come look at your post if I haven't already. So for the second discussion post, it's asking you kind of to have a discussion. It's looking for you to identify 2 distinct fallacious arguments that you think happen in the media, and that can be from watching the news, or watching a commercial, or reading the newspaper. Any kind of media that you think employs a fallacy, you need to identify that fallacy, and then talk about why you think the fallacy is, or how it's being used. So one mistake that students have made in the past is they'll just list off a commercial, and they'll describe the commercial and then say, therefore the commercial is committing a fallacy. But that's not really answering the question. What you need to do is identify the fallacy you think the commercial is committing, and then explain why you think the way that the commercial is being utilized is committing that fallacy. So if you're watching a if you're watching a commercial about laundry detergent or fabric softener, and there's a teddy bear jumping up and down on towels, you can't just say the fabric softener uses a teddy bear jumping up on towels to try to get people to buy the fabric softener, so therefore it's a fallacy. What you need to do is identify which fallacy you think might be being committed by that kind of commercial, and in this case it might be the appeal to popularity, that teddy bears are popular with people, and because teddy bears are soft, therefore your towels are going to be soft if you buy this product. That identifies the fallacy that might be being committed by that commercial, and then it explains why that fallacy is being committed, or potentially being committed, by that commercial. So, and you need to do that twice for the second discussion. So again, I really encourage you, if you're watching this video, to click especially on that second link. That'll give you some good examples. Of course, there are also examples that are contained within this instructor guidance. So I encourage you to ask me any questions if you have any, and good luck this week. And we're halfway through the class, and for those of you whose grades might not be as good as they should be because you've missed some late work, don't give up hope. You can make that back. I've seen people come all the way back from having almost zeros in the first week to getting a passing grade by the 5th week. And because remember, you have your writing assignments that you're doing too. So keep your head held high, and good luck this week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.